Hello and welcome back to the series where we try to conquer Pendor in not 100, 250 days. Can you imagine? I'd already have failed it if it was 150. Anyway, let's lead our soldiers in an assault against the wonderful town of Marlions. And this is going to actually be really difficult, to be honest, because we actually have to go into the courtyard here. And now that we've got our crossbowmen in the courtyard here, we should be completely fine, or at the very least, we should be getting many kills, and that maybe will help us secure the victory. Because this is basically one of those sieges that I personally feel is a bit of a formality. I know that sounds kind of a bit overconfident, because I think maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too big for my boots. That could be the case. However, in this situation, I feel pretty good about it, mostly because there isn't, I don't think at least, there isn't a knighthood order available here. If there was a knighthood order, I think I would probably have a slightly different analysis of what's actually happening, but we should be completely fine going forward here now. And all we need to... Oh no, actually wait a minute, there is a Knight of the Lion. Well, that might be a little bit of an issue, but I don't think that's going to be too bad. What we're going to do is we're actually going to tell our archers to stand closer a little bit, just so that they can continue to, shall we say, shoot them in a decent-ish manner, because otherwise they're going to be a little bit in the corners of the courtyard, and we don't really want them to be over there, because that's actually going to prevent them from shooting. So yeah, we're hopefully just going to have them be a little bit more available, give them a bit more line of sight, and as you can see, look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's actually crazy. You know what I really wish? I really wish we had an archer-based army still. Unfortunately, I just haven't had the opportunity to really do that anymore, because we have so many good cavalry that I can't really justify leaving that. You see? I can't really justify leaving those guys in a garrison somewhere. I mean, obviously, I'd have to go all the way into Deshar territory to be able to do that, which is not actually that far away, to be honest. It isn't that far away any further. Ow. Okay, I almost died. That was pretty bad. Oh well, never mind. But we should be completely fine now. We just need to wait a little bit of time. You know, it's actually quite astounding how many kills the cavalry actually get. And this is actually one of those things, one of those additional things where I just kind of go, you know what? Actually, I'm pretty happy to have these guys. You know, if we had only archers, then our field battle... I mean, okay, fine. You know, reality-wise, we'd probably still be okay. You know, if we had an entire army based on Empire Armored Crossbowmen, we'd probably still be completely fine. But it does reduce our overall mobility quite dramatically, and if we were to, you know, have to deal with a bunch of enemy cavalry as well, like, for example, if we had to deal with, you know, I don't know, Kyuda the Ravager or something like that, we would probably have some pretty big issues. But as it stands, that's actually not the case, and indeed we do have some cavalry, and for me, I actually really like the additional tactical options that unlocks for us. Now, as you can tell, I did actually retreat, and the main reason why I did that is just so that we can go back in, get our crossbowmen some additional ammunition, and yeah, it was pretty easy, not too bad. We did eliminate around 200 enemies in the first initial charge, and we are now already eliminating 100, so now all we need to do is take the walls. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do this. A little bit unfortunate that we're getting somewhat stuck here. I'm hopeful that my companions will be able to... Ah, no, Kavera! You have been eliminated. That is not very good. Oh, well, never mind. Kavera did actually take quite a few hits by random archers as we were coming up here, and it was kind of likely that she was going to be eliminated, which is not exactly great. I personally would prefer to see her survive, because she is really good. You know, she has that wonderful man opener weapon, which I personally think is really fantastic to see in action. She really knows how to use it, and it's a unique weapon, so it's really quite fantastic. Okay, wait a minute. Hello. We got these guys? Okay, this is actually kind of funny. Yeah, a bit problematic actually that I have to shoot these guys from over here. Thankfully they... Oh no! They're behind me! I had no idea! Okay, well, this is a problem. Yes. Okay. I thought to myself, oh yes, this is going to be somewhat easy. I could just shoot these archers with very little consequence. And then I turn around and I see that a couple of people are behind me. And thankfully not getting ready for thrusts, but, you know, they were doing other things. They were doing other things. They were getting prepared for some wonderful celebration of my demise, no doubt. Now, if I could just be left alone and not get shot from the side here, because I am actually being shot by those archers over there. But if I could be left alone... Oh, what? How did they shoot me through the wall? Did you see that? They shot me through the wall there. Okay, that was interesting. Alright, well, we should be completely fine here. I mean, we are going to lose a handful of people, but I don't think it's going to be particularly bad. This is actually one of the reasons why this shield is obviously fantastic. It has so much more durability than the previous one that we were using, so I very much appreciate that. Unfortunate that it is a little bit smaller. I'm going to use my bow here. I'm going to try to eliminate some of these archers. I do have to hide after every single shot, which is very annoying, but you know, that's just how it goes. And I now have 240. Oh yes, look at that. 240 in archery. Very good. And, well, we can only hope that I can maybe kill this one as well. My accuracy is so terrible because this bow is terrible. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's okay. You know, it's a standard-ish bow. But, oh, we could do so much better, couldn't we? We could do so much better if we just had a slightly better weapon. A slightly better bow. I would be very, very pleased with that, but no. We are a little bit unlucky there. Oh, and there we go. What a classic. Oh, well. Never mind. It happens. It happens. And indeed, my forces were able to eliminate them very, very easily. And that was indeed the end of the battle. Isn't that such a classic? I get eliminated at the very end of the battle. Yes, yes, it happens very much like that all the time. Okay, so at least now we can eliminate these guys in the streets, and we can have a little bit of fun doing that, and then we can go into the keep as well. I do have to be a little bit careful here. I cannot get myself killed. If I die here, we may in fact fail the entire siege, because I'm going to have to then send my forces in by themselves without me actually going in there, and they're going to have to auto-resolve it or whatever, because that's not very good. We do not want that to happen. Okay, Julia, go, Julia. You must murder. There we go, yes. Adonia, Julia, and Kavera, they are all absolute beasts. I'm not entirely sure when that happened, but I think it's just probably because I have literally just been leveling them in Power Strike and Iron Flesh, and just, you know, basically turning them into some kind of heavy infantry beasts. And indeed, they have become that, which is, well, I guess exactly what I wanted. So there you go. You know, they've done exactly what we wanted to do. So that's wonderful. Love it. And we are now done in Marlians as well. Okay, so now we're going to be... oh. I actually meant to let that guy go. Whoopsie. All right. Well, I guess he's not going to be too pleased with me now. Oh well, never mind. Okay. Oh, Seer Favorites. Yes, Seer Favorites. I love those. We could get some of these if we wanted to, or we could get Heretic Minions. I don't know what's better, so we'll just take the Squires, I suppose. Okay. So this is a town, so we're going to be giving this to Sir Rain, or Lord Rain at this point. And then we'll go into the marketplace. We'll sell some things. Yes. Ah, very nice, very nice. Look at this. Loads of food, loads of food. Okay, well, we already have all the food that we need. Let's just sell this, even though it was a very, very good weapon for Julia at one point. We can sell that. I don't have any strength. I am going to need to get strength at some point. Is this actually better for me? It is. Ah, that's actually better for me. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so I can finally sell that. And then we can move on. Let's go into the streets because I misclicked. Let's go into the tavern and we can... Ooh, wait a minute. Do we have a ransom broker? We do not. Ugh. We have a farmer at least. Okay, fine. I will do the farmer quest because that is what we... Well, I mean, generally, it's a good idea to do for renown and things like that. So, you know, why not? It's just unfortunate there isn't a ransom broker here. Really, really wish there was. Okay, I'm looking for supplies. Ah, no, baggage train's already here, of course. Okay, so we're completely fine. And this is where we currently are, of course. So, Adonia, let's have a look at you. Ah, yes, there we go. Increase your strength some more. And we have another horse archer there. Yeah, we have so many people. Oh yeah, someone asked how much renown I have. I have 3,700 renown. And that is, as I said to you before, probably due to the fact that we sallied out so many times in the first initial start of our faction. Or shall we say, we baited the sally out, because we were getting 100 renown every single time. Well, not 100, but we were getting a very large amount of renown, basically near to 100 every single time they sallied out. And they did that multiple times. We were doing that literally like 3, 4, 5 times every single siege. And there were, well, quite a few sieges, as you can see right there. You know, we had to do quite a lot. So, you know, it really made a huge difference to our overall company size. And that's the reason why I recommended at the very beginning, you know, of the series, I said, oh yes, it's probably a good idea to mass these Empire armored crossbowmen. And that's exactly what I did. And so as a result, we then had some pretty good, you know, pretty good success rate. But yeah, I am actually going to fight this guy. I don't really, this is the thing here. I'm wasting time by fighting this guy. I don't really want to fight him, but I feel like it is necessary to facilitate future actions. That's the main reason why I would actually decide to attack any of these vassals at this point. Because if, for example, this guy decides that he wants to group up with any of the others and, you know, create some kind of trouble for us, then they will easily and very, very quickly be able to do that, and they will murder us. And then it will be a very, very sad state of affairs. And that's kind of what I'd like to avoid, because then they're going to gang up, and they're going to be bringing 600, 700, 800, maybe even more than that, units down upon us. And that would be very uncomfortable indeed. So I would prefer to avoid that by trying to eliminate at least a couple of them in the field when they're separated. You know what I mean? That's basically the entire reason why I'm doing that. No other reason whatsoever for it. And indeed, we might actually do pretty well here. We might even get a little bit of experience, which would be nice. I did get to 10 intelligence, by the way, a while back, because obviously I did a handful of sieges off screen, and I was trying to get as many kills as possible, as I said, to murder as many of these archers as I could. And indeed, it does make a huge difference. You can see here, look at this. I could just come in here, murder these archers. Obviously, it would be preferable if we were full HP, by the way, doing this, because, you know, generally being full HP does afford you a little bit of extra freedom when it comes to your actions. So you're then going to be able to, you know, attack a little bit more, be a little more aggressive, and then you will gain some more experience that way as well. And then you don't have to worry so much about being eliminated like I'm worrying right now, being shot in the face by that crossbowman. I was very worried about that for a real quick second there. And we do have, oh, who's this? Oh, that is I think that's a maiden adventurer. That looks like a maiden adventurer to me, but maybe not. Oh, Jatu Raider. Yeah, Jatu, they are also fantastic for experience too, by the way. Obviously, we already know that because we leveled up on them quite a bit in the mid-game. You know, before we created our faction, we were just fighting them while a mercenary, and it seemed to be pretty good, you know? It seemed to be pretty good, because most of the time the Jatu, they generally tend to enjoy straight up charging, and you can potentially exploit that a little bit by making it so that you have units that are fundamentally anti-cavalry. So you could technically play a Salian there, and you could just have a bunch of Salian halberdiers, and then you could potentially do something you know, with them from that. You know, you could try to farm renown that way if you wanted to. For me personally, I feel like that's probably not the greatest use of time and the greatest use of resources, because, I mean, let's face it, you probably want to use units that are going to be exceptionally good at capturing towns, capturing castles, stuff like that. That's the reason why I decided that I would be going for Empire Armored Crossbowmen. Like I've said, it is just so good to go in to a siege and then be completely fine. Oh, a passing messenger tells you Lord Roland's wife died suddenly in Maris Castle, and the quest is the Ghost Lady. Well, unfortunately for me, I don't think I'm going to even be able to do this. Oh, also, I needed to go and... yes, I needed to go to Foxstead. Okay, that's unfortunate for the farmer. Yes, that is unfortunate for him. I am going to go in here first, and we are going to go back to Foxstead and hopefully help him after the fact. I completely forgot about that because I fought the vassal, so that's great. And they are not going to sally out. Very surprising, actually, that they're not sallying out at all, even when they have a significant numbers advantage. It's very, very weird to me because, yes, okay, fine, you know, it makes sense if we have, you know, a significant amount of archers. Because, of course, archers are indeed going to be pretty easy to deal with in a sally out, or they should be, you know, most of the time. However, in this case, I feel like they have so many troops that they could probably just sally out and they'd most likely have a pretty decent time nevertheless. But maybe the enemy has a lot of archers themselves, and they would be putting themselves at a disadvantage in that case. Oh, now what do we have here? I am very surprised, actually. What is going on? Why are they sallying out now? This is so strange. This is so strange. I don't actually understand why they did this, because I've just been... Basically, I have been going into Sarlian, building ladders, going in, killing about 100 people, which is what the bolt amounts allowed me to do, basically, right? Because my crossbowmen ran out of bolts otherwise, and then I'd have to retreat. And now we're getting a sally out. Weirdly, I don't know. A bit of a strange situation to be in right here. We are losing a couple of people, which is to be expected, of course. Sally outs usually are a little bit messy, especially when we're up against some relatively high tier people. And funnily enough, I actually feel like, that might be the reason. They knew what kinds of units they were going to bring into the sally out. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here, and that's the reason. Can we actually tell our forces to charge in right now? Are they actually charging? They should have been charging the entire time. I did tell them to charge the entire time, but apparently they were a little bit bugged or something like that. I don't know. But whatever the case, we're fine. We're okay, you know? As long as... This is the thing. This is the thing we have to remember. This is one of the most difficult sieges that we are going to face, you know? Because every single town is a little bit more difficult than pretty much any other castle, of course. However, there are going to be certain sieges that are just going to be fundamentally much more difficult. I'm not sure how Ravenstern's going to go, because obviously they do have some really, really good archers, but look at the amount of renown we just got. We got 100 renown for this, 12 morale. We did end up losing some pretty big units there, which I don't really like. But I can't really do much about that, can I? You know, that's just how things are. Now, Ishkomen was sacked by the Mettenheim force, which is a little bit weird. I don't know what was going on with that, but apparently they did. And we're now going to go back in to here. Unfortunately, it is now raining. As you know, I'm not a big fan of the rain sound effect because it does tend to distort all of the, well, other sound effects like, you know, music and so on and so forth. So, a little bit annoying, but the worst case is the fact that ranged attacks are going to be a little bit more ineffective And we might have some issues with that. But hopefully not. Hopefully not super, super bad. Gonna tell my archers to stand closer a little bit here. My cavalry also has ranged capability, which is obviously fantastic. So we will now just relax a little bit here. It's so annoying that they target me. Well, never mind. It happens. It happens. I mean, I am the closest to the walls, so I'm going to assume that's the reason. But also, they do tend to prioritize the player. Yeah, they do. Anyway, that is hopefully going to be another 100 or so troops dead. Well, we still have Knights of the Lion, Squires of the Lion, and so on and so forth dying to our crossbowmen here. However, what I'm actually going to do is as soon as our crossbowmen run out of ammunition this time, we are going to charge in. Now, this is the funny thing about this. I literally have been going in, killing about 100, and then retreating. And we've done that about twice more since the sally out. So we are now starting to lose quite a lot of morale. That's the thing. We do gain around 12 morale if I can kill around 100 troops, which is pretty decent. As you can see, we've now killed 130, which is quite nice. So we're going to tell everyone to charge in now. But here's the thing. If we continue to retreat and we don't get enough morale to offset the loss, because we do get a 15 morale penalty for retreating, and that's obviously a pretty big deal. And generally it does feel as though the Pendor developers decided that they were gonna try to make things more difficult, which is fine, I suppose. I mean, the mod is already pretty difficult. I'm gonna fall off here. Hopefully I won't die. There we go. Okay, I didn't die. Okay, nice. Not bad, not bad. Thankfully, there's not that much of a drop there, and hopefully we can use this guy. There we go. Use that guy as cover. Try to eliminate this one. There we go, and take this one down as well. There we go, and we should actually be good now. I should be able to actually get quite a few kills. And this is kind of what I was hoping to do, to be honest, because it is just so much fun to fight. It is really, really fun to fight, and I really do miss it when we, do a challenge like this where I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I should probably just stand outside. That's the most efficient way of doing it, I do miss that, going in and potentially dying, obviously. And I believe this is the beginning of the end for them right here, because they have no more reinforcements. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this was a pretty good time for us to charge in. As you can see, we basically lost no troops, which I think is pretty much the only thing we really care about at this point, don't we? Because generally, if we ended up losing a couple of troops from this charge in, then that just means that I've done a bad job, because eliminating a lot of the high-tier troops, that was my main goal as a result of coming in, killing whatever we can and then retreating and then coming in, killing whatever we can and then retreating and then rinse and repeating that particular process. I was trying to eliminate as many Knights of the Lion as I could, because Sarlian had over 850 people in the garrison, and being able to eliminate all of those, well, that was paramount to success, pretty much. And we're not yet succeeding. We're not yet done. We may still end up getting myself killed, which would not be particularly good. But you can see here on the streets, we've got loads of enemies, massive amounts of enemies. But thankfully, I am accompanied by a bunch of really strong companions, so I shouldn't have too many issues here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. And indeed, look at this. We're done. Look at that. Julia, Adonia, Kavera, even Donovan is getting a couple of kills. And that's pretty funny, considering he literally has very, very little combat skill himself. Nice. Okay. Anytime we can eliminate one enemy in one hit, that is just perfect, because that just fundamentally cuts down on the time that it takes for other enemies to, well, take damage from us, because we've already eliminated someone, and we also eliminate someone so they can't actually do anything to us. Duke Alamar, there we go. He's going to be going as well. We're going to be, there we go, there. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. All right, so that is wonderful. Look at that. Okay, so we've now taken Sarlian as well. Let's see what else we can get here. Well, obviously, we do need to replenish our ranks a little bit. Dragon Drakes. Not a terribly big fan of Dragon Drakes, I have to admit. Not that big a fan of them particularly, but you know, it's all right, I suppose. Anyway, there we go. So we're going to be giving this to Frederick because he's obviously going to, well, he's going to need a town, of course. We do have a handful of companions now that are vassals, so hopefully they're going to do a good job. And we are now, we're basically just going to move. We're just going to move. And I'm going to go over to Foxstead because I did say that I was going to do something with the farmer. They're going to go to Marlians, I'm pretty sure. Are they? I'm not entirely sure, but they are running around in a campaign at the moment, which is obviously, that is hilarious. But yeah, let's see what actually happens here, because we did get, this is the funny thing, we got 57 renown, right? 57 renown for our quest, for our siege, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting around 12 for the village infestation. But if we do get 57, then I will be exceptionally pleased. Let's see what happens. Alright, so there it is. 16 renown is what we actually got. Mostly because I assume we just had so many robbers there. And look at that! We've advanced to level 32! Wow, fantastic. Look at that. Okay, so now we have 29 in charisma. Obviously, we're not going to be able to level anything else up here. It's been a while since I've actually shown you our character just because it has been so long since we've leveled up. And indeed, when I've leveled up, it's been off screen. So, you know, that's generally what has been happening here. And let me just see here. What are we going to do? Are we going to do trade? No, we're not going to do trade. I think we're probably just going to be going for... it's a little bit of a troublesome situation. I think we'll just go for another point in Iron Flesh here. The question is, do I... you know what? I'm actually going to go for 16 strength. Okay, I'm going to go for 16 strength. The reason why I'm going for 16 strength is this sword, okay? I have been having this sword in my inventory for so long that I feel it's about time, okay? It's about time for us to literally get this sword and actually equip it. Because otherwise, we're just going to be sitting around with this sword for the remainder of the entire series. And we are just going to be like, oh yes, remember that sword? Remember that sword that I really wanted to get and use? Yeah. And then I never used it. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing that. Mettenheim, okay, Mettenheim forces attacking says, bit of a weird one. Alright, if they want to do that, then they want to do that. I'm going to go to Avondor, of course. Ah, hello there, Baron Geddon. Baron Geddon, yes, he's got a bomb, doesn't he? He's got a bomb for us down in Molten Core. Anyway, we're going to be actually telling everyone just to charge these guys. We're going to be hyper-aggressive in this particular battle. Hopefully it's going to pay off. And there it is. I unfortunately did get myself lanced in the face. So, of course, dead. But, you know, 19 renown for us. Not too bad, not too bad. We're going to just let him go as we do. No loot there that I'm really... Oh, I really like the Sea of Favorites, though. I will definitely be taking the Sea of Favorites. We'll take a couple of Sarlian Halberdiers. I still need to find a ransom broker. It's very annoying that we haven't found one. Not entirely sure why we're not finding one, but, you know, usually they're all over the place. But in recent times, they have become a rarity for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, Julia has advanced in level once again. Let's get her another point in strength. As you can see, this is what she's currently looking like in regards to her stats. She has 81 HP. 81. Pretty crazy. So we are actually going to take the plunge here. 36 hours. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. But kind of have to. Kind of have to. This is, well, it's the only thing we can do, really. Hopefully the three seers will not come over here. Hopefully the campaign that is currently besieging Marlians will not stop their campaign at Marlians and come over here, because if they do come over here, then we are probably going to be having some pretty big issues. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, we actually got it done. Okay, this is going to have to be a one and done situation, by the way, if you didn't know. Because obviously, I don't want to spend another 36 hours building a siege tower. If I can help it, I'd like to avoid that at all costs. So that basically means, you know what that means? Oh yeah, we're going to have to do this in one go. And this is a little bit risky. Little bit risky. I'm not sure, actually, if we're even going to be able to do this. But I am going to just go for it. I'm just going to go for it. Alright, so we're going to be going up here with Kavera, no less. Kavera and a bunch of Vekavi Knights are going to be leading the charge into the battlements. Unfortunately, Kavera does have a really large two-handed polearm, and so as a result, she's probably not going to be super good at any kind of battlement fighting. As you can see, yes, she did indeed get herself killed, but that is, again, to be expected. I've not really given her a weapon that is capable of being that good in battlements, because I just generally want her to be insane in actual field battles. That's where I actually want her to pay off. So anyway, we're going to be doing a little bit of damage here. I gotta be a little careful. I don't really want to get myself shot by these guys if I can help it, but I don't have that many arrows remaining, unfortunately, because yeah. Because I actually tried to shoot a bunch of people from the from the siege tower area, and that didn't really work out too well. Let's just say that didn't really work out too well. Now, if I can just distract these guys a little bit, I'll be pretty happy with that to a certain degree. Okay. Be careful. Calm down, fellows. Calm down. Thank you. Okay, let's be a little bit aware of where we are. There we are. Okay, now we can attack a little bit. Yeah. Even though I've got a really fast weapon, this apparently is not fast enough. And I'm going to get killed, by the way, right now. Yep. I called it. Oh, look at that. I called it the exact second when I was going to die. Yeah, that kind of skill in real life would probably not be the greatest idea, right? You know, so just before you get hit by the bus, boom, I'm gonna die, and there it goes. That's it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we should just commit to this. I am actually just going to commit to this siege. Despite me not wanting to, we really just need to commit and accept any casualties that will come our way. And there it is, 81 renown, and then we're going to be going into the streets, and we are super outnumbered here, actually, massively. Might be having a bit of a problem, but I think we're okay. My ebony sword is actually super nice. Very much enjoying using it, because I don't know whether you've noticed, but if I go for an overhead attack, I'm more than likely going to kill someone with one hit. I was able to do that with the previous sword as well, but it was a little bit more dependent on our speed bonus, I think. Just because that small little bit of damage increase from the base value of the weapon feels like it can make a big difference. I don't know. It feels good, you know? It feels nice to actually just have a little bit of extra damage. Can we kill these? I'd very much appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, there we are. Nice. That was it. And now we can go into the keep itself, and that is going to be a victory for us. Or at least I can only hope that we will. Who do we actually have with us right here? Oh, we have Julia. Okay, I'm feeling pretty confident now then. Oh, yeah. As you can see, she is absolutely slaughtering people. Left, right, and center. Love it. Absolutely love it. And who else do we have? Oh, just an Empire Armored Crossbowman. Yeah, Julia was the reason why we won this, because I'm not sure if I could have done that by myself. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, there we go. Okay, oh yeah. We got some Seer favorites. Fantastic. Heretic Magnus, Heretic Worshippers. Thank you very much. We'll take these Rogue Blackheart Squires. Dragon Drakes. And then, I guess we'll take the Heretic Minions. Yeah, they're going to take a little bit of time to level up, but I think it's probably going to be worth it. Alright, so who are we going to give this to? That's the question. Who are we going to give this to? I personally don't know. I'm thinking we'll probably give it to Frederick, because he has the least out of everyone. So I am going to do that. And then we're going to go into find a ransom broker straight away. Is there a ransom broker? Why are there no ransom brokers? What is this? No. Oh, no, there we go. There was a ransom broker. Okay. Ah, finally. Okay, there we go. So, there we go. And yes, nice. We got 8,200 for selling those. Absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice. Okay, so we now just want to buy a little bit of food. I still have a baggage train, as you can see right there, so we don't need to worry about that. And let's just take a quick look. Okay, so this is what we're now currently seeing. Obviously, Marlians is still under siege. I'm 100% certain they will be taking it in short order. It's going to be pretty soon. And, oh, there's our first Doom Guide. Oh, yeah, that's the reason why I absolutely love Seer Favorites. They level up into Doom Guides, and Doom Guides are some of the most powerful units in the entire game, so I'm very, very happy about that. Let's level up Julia's power draw a little bit there, and her strength. And I think we're pretty good, actually. I think we're pretty good. Now we're just going to go on to Mistmire Castle. I'm literally just going to be continuing to go. Obviously, as you see here, we are getting some noble recruits, but again, noble recruits are not really going to be coming into this playthrough at all, because we're not going to be creating a knighthood order in any way, as that just takes way too long. So otherwise, we are now just going to go in here. It's going to take 6 hours to build these ladders, and they're probably going to end up taking Marlians relatively soon, or no? Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm kind of a bit weirded out that they haven't taken it yet, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, the renown value for this battle is only 42, so I'm assuming that the unit quality in the garrison here is not that good. So we should have a pretty easy time winning. Alright, so it's time for us to go into the garrison and actually start taking it. Oh, Kavera's actually getting a couple of kills right here. She's now level 25 too, and indeed, we really need it. We really need these guys to level up. We really need them to actually do some amazing damage. And, you know, it's actually quite funny. I feel like maybe some of the time, because a companion has gone in and actually done big damage in certain situations, it feels like they've really contributed a great deal to certain cases where we actually needed them. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes they actually contributed so much that we were... Oh dear, I put myself in a situation where I'm going to die now. But yeah. They've actually done so much damage that it feels pretty good, you know? It feels pretty good because in certain times, they literally go in, they kill, you know, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 enemies, and that is sometimes so much better than what a regular unit would be able to do. And well, it depends. Obviously, it depends on what kind of troops you have at the time. But look at Adonia right now. She's killing so many enemies, and I'm not sure whether that's just because she's at the front of the line or whether that's just because she's so good. But I think it's probably the latter. I don't think it's just because she's at the front. Obviously, you know, being close to enemies does make a difference, of course. But, you know, I think her damage is very much good and very much up to scratch about what she needs to do to be able to get those kills. And she's even getting more. Look at that. She's even getting more kills. I'm getting a headshot there as well. That's my first kill in this entire siege. And I've actually just realized something. Me jumping onto this rooftop here, I've basically made myself get stuck. There is nothing I can do about getting off this hill, off this rooftop, without me literally forcing myself into a situation where I will die. I will die if I leave this rooftop because I will get killed by fall damage. So, yeah, that is indeed going to be the case, which is very bad. That is very bad, isn't it? Yes, that is terrible. But thankfully, we don't have that long to go, and we are, again, just 100% committing, because that's what we have to do. And there it is. I actually did manage to live through the entirety of the battle, surprisingly enough, because I was literally at 1% HP. Very surprised not a stray arrow came my way. Anyway, there it is. 42 renown for us. Oh no, we have to go in. Oh, that's bad. Oh, okay, well, maybe it's going to be okay. We have Julia. That is all we really need at this point. And yeah, that was very easy with her, isn't it? Yeah, she just literally goes in and she just has so much HP, so much defense that it's absolutely impossible for her to die in that situation. Anyway, there it is. We've taken it. Duke Alamar once again is here. Hilarious that we are consistently seeing him. Because we're just consistently going to places that he's at. And, well, it's not very good for him, is it? It's not very good for his health. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the heretic minions. And we're going to take the seer favorites instead. Because, let's face it, they are fundamentally much better. And we are otherwise just going to leave everything else. There we go. I don't really care about anything else. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I think Lord Rain could probably use this. That's probably fine. And then we will have a look-see. So I'm going to assume that at least I'm not sure which one is going to be a siege tower. Which one of these castles is going to be a siege tower? That's the question. I don't know. But we need to make some moves here. Let's have a look. Oh, no, this is another ladder castle. Wow. Okay, we're getting really, really lucky with this. I'm going to assume that at least one of these will be a siege tower. And in that case, we're going to be absolutely fine. Now, are they... They are still doing the siege. Very surprising. I would have expected them to actually give up by now. Let's go for another point in Weapon Master. Might as well. She doesn't really use thrown weapons that much. And yeah, another 2 Heretic Magni, very nice. And we got these, wonderful. All right, so that is going to be it for this episode. But next time, well, I mean, as you can quite clearly tell, Sarlian does seem to be completely and utterly eliminated. It just very much depends on what they decide to do with Marlians. If they are going to succeed in taking it, then we'll have to take it back. But that should be relatively simple, as we've seen. And then it is up to us. What do you think? Which faction shall we attack next? We could go for the Ravenstone, or we could go for the Feardsvane. The Feardsvane, to me, seem like the best course of action, because otherwise we're just going to be leaving them alone, and we have to travel quite far for the Ravenstone, so I'm thinking Feardsvane. But let me know what you think anyway. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.